And we're back with another right here with our, well, I should say with even more from the Pop Culture Cosmos and the PCC Multiverse Arena. My name is Gerald Glassford from Pop Culture Cosmos and Game Source. I'm here along with the outstanding individuals that cover the TV ratings guide and all the great happenings in the TV ratings world. I've got, well, Jonathan Ducote and also as well, Jessica Boggs. Can both of you hear me right now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, and I've got Jessica Boggs. I'm going to be feeding her questions so she can go elaborate as well. As far as that's concerned. And the first thing I want to ask you, as far as Jonathan is concerned, you were talking about as far as this is a crucial time. This is a crucial time for the networks as well as far as their TV is concerned. Jonathan, first off, what's going on as far as in this period of time as the sweeps arrive as far as it's concerned? Because, you know, it is that period of time when a lot of shows that are on the fringes and whatnot. But I know you wanted to cover some things first in this area and this topic of our questioning.
Well, basically, this is the week before Upfront start, so it's probably the most busy week in television. It's a week when all the shows get canceled or renewed. Pilots are picked up or passed on, so it's just really an important week leading up to Upfronts. So.
Okay, and then what does that do as far as when all the networks with the Upfronts, and then you're also talking about a lot of summer programs that are starting as well. Is that correct?
Yes. Summer is mostly reality, though, but we have a few scripted.
Yeah, and absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more on that. So as I'm feeding Jess the questions here, right here, our good friends, the TV Ratings Guide. And I also wanted to, at this point, say congratulations in regards to, you know, you guys, I think you recently celebrated over 1 million hits. Is that correct?
Yes, we did.
Can't hear anyone.
Yes, and that's great news indeed. And then I also wanted to ask Jessica, what are your thoughts about the site hitting over 1 million views? And I wanted to get the perspective from that as well. We can hear you. We can hear you, Jess.
Well, I thought it was pretty cool.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Yeah, because over 1 million hits. I mean, obviously that's a great thing indeed. And if you get a chance, everyone out there, check it out. That is the TVRatingsGuide.com. That is the TVRatingsGuide.com for all your information and need in regards to the you know, as far as the whole ratings, the format from, you know, covering ABC, CBS, NBC, CW, Fox, the whole 9 yards, broadcast cable as well. And what things are actually up at this point in time, Jonathan, are sticking out to you in regards to what's going on in the world of TV ratings?
Well, I mean, I've definitely noticed over since spring has started in television, the ratings are really, the live ratings just really aren't that good for broadcast at least. So I mean, broadcast is dealing with that, with not that many shows doing really well in the live ratings. So that's really sticking out for right now.
Is this an effect because a lot of people are, like myself, a lot of people are thinking about cutting the cord on traditional cable and broadcasting networks and whatnot? Or do you think that people are moving away from that? So a lot of people are more interested in maybe either watching the Netflixes, Hulus out there, or just, going with those smaller packages that are offered by things such as PlayStation Vue, Sling TV, Hulu, and AT&T Direct Now.
I think it's actually probably a combination of things. Like, I think it's more, that people can DVR. They can watch on Netflix when it gets put in their iTunes. There's so many ways they really just don't have to watch live anymore. But also, I think it might be a kind of a quality thing because they do have some shows that do well live, but it's not many.
So when you're talking, and I'm going to talk to Jess right now, and I'm asking Jess this, what do you think networks can do to provide audiences to did I lose her?
I think she's still here.
Okay. So provide larger. Okay, yeah, I just she has a signal, but I guess she's not here. Yeah, so I guess I'm gonna have to throw this question out to you, Jonathan. So what do you think networks can do to provide larger audiences at this point to try and gain a foothold? At least, you know, the tide is turning, and obviously the ratings are going down to as far as from across the board. But is there anything that these large networks can do to try and retain some of their audiences, if not try and grow them out?
Well, as Jessica just wrote, I agree with what she said. They really need to try, I think, to like expand what they program and try to do things that aren't already done. Like WBC just right now, like all their comedies are basically family comedies. I think that they need to try to expand and do more than just that and offer like different types of content.
Absolutely. I could agree with both of you, Warren. And she does make an excellent point with providing more broadly defined content that's really good for the audiences. That's what she was saying. And I definitely can agree with both you and her on that as well. So what shows at this point in time, because it's kind of like, like I said, even though there's May sweeps and whatnot, what are the actual shows that you're looking at right now at making an impact within the world of broadcasting and television?
I mean, I would guess, personally, I would think, probably like Empire, that's doing a lot of things right now for Fox, and ABC, they have TGIT, and I think those are like the shows that do well in live ratings are also the ones that make an impact.
So describe the lineup for TGIT. That's the Thank Goodness It's Thursday comedy lineup, correct?
For ABC, it's all Shonda shows. It's Grey's Anatomy, Scandal, and The Catch, and then How to Go with Murder in the Fall. And it's ABC drama, like it's their top rated programs and everything. It's been a big brand.
Okay, that's
mute.
Are you there?
Hello.
We can hear you.
I'm guessing I'm back.
Yes.
Hopefully
Yes, you are. So
thing needs to work.
So I'm going to ask Jess here, because it's a little bit different type of format, because she's having some audio troubles trying to listen in what we're talking about. So, but she can speak to us on it. So what I'm asking her, what shows are of the greatest interest to her right now? Okay.
Well, I was thinking about watching Mary Kills People.
Okay.
But, I haven't had as much TV in a while.
Okay. And what else? What shows are actually the consumer base, Jonathan, that you feel that you're getting a lot of feedback on? Is what shows are actually connecting with audiences at this point in time?
I notice it's a lot of shows that really connect with the audience. The shows that don't do the best in ratings, like Timeless, the NBC show has a huge following. They always, our posts on NBC New Cancel of Timeless always have like large audiences. Like Timeless really garners people, and Emerald City did, which was just canceled.
But Timeless on the fence? According to your site, Timeless is on the fence and most likely an invitation be canceled. Is that correct? I enjoyed the show personally. I watched every episode.
Yeah, it is. The ratings just, but it's got like a chance, I would say, but I don't know, really.
I think its time slot hurt it. Yeah, I know it was great coming after The Voice, but I think its time slot heard it indeed. But being on that late at night, because it's not the show that you need to be on that late at night.
Right.
So if you're talking about the shows that are right now leading into the summer, what shows for the summer are you looking forward to making a considerable imprint with audiences at this point in time?
Well, personally for me, I'm really looking forward to Animal Kingdom on TNT. I really like that one. That was a breakout hit last summer. So
I know they're coming out with several shows, I believe, is correct? Like based on Will Shakespeare. I know Jessica also mentioned Unreal is coming back sometime this summer as well.
Yeah. TNT's also making.
See if I have better luck on my iPad.
You were saying, Jonathan? I'm sorry.
I was just saying, TNT has a lot of new shows coming this summer. Claus is one, and as you mentioned, Will. So.
Okay. Sweet. At this point in time, people seem to take the summer viewing a little bit for granted because it is traditionally less than in the fall seasons. People, as it gets colder, people have a tendency to stay inside, and when it's warmer, people have a tendency to go outside. That's obviously, it's human nature, whatnot. But there's still some shows that have, in recent years, made a big impact and are now actually have become like, I should say, cornerstones for the actual networks involved. Empire, I believe, is one of them that was came out at a non-traditional point of time for a big show that is now considered a show that now Fox is now relying heavily on. Mention some of the others that have come up in recent years, to your knowledge, that have come up in this time frame. May, June, July, that have really made an imprint with audiences now that are now just basically shows that people can't do without.
Well, I would say like most of the shows that would come up in this time frame would be that main imprint would more so be reality versus scripted. Over the summer they have The Bachelorette and Big Brother that really do well live ratings, and you don't really hear about many scripted shows that come out in this time frame making an impression in the ratings.
Okay, so and that's for the most part that's usually the case, and it's usually, but there's still every now and then there's a sneak hit like Empire or whatnot that will actually gain some tread with audiences and whatnot. But definitely, it's an interesting time indeed. And in our next show that we're going to deal with in the PCC Multiverse here, coming up here in a second, we're going to be talking a little bit more about those shows that are renewal, that are on the fence, that are canceled. As far as it's concerned, just want to make sure that you cover all those bases, and that's going to be great conversation indeed. And that's coming up right here next, right here with us at the Pop Culture Cosmos. And we're back with the PCC Multiverse. My name is Gerald Glassford from Pop Culture Cosmos and Game Source. Once again, if you get a chance, check out our Monday and Friday shows on the Podcast Radio Network, 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 p.m. Pacific on Monday nights, and also as well 7 p.m. Eastern and 4 p.m. Pacific on Friday indeed. Finally, we got it. All right. Sounds great indeed. And she just came up for us with the second segment indeed. I've got the great folks at the TV Ratings Guide. That's the TVRatingsGuide.com. And before we head out to anything else and any questioning on as far as cancellations, renewals, or anything you both want to talk about in regards to that, tell us more about the great site that is the TV Ratings Guide.
Okay. Well, as you might have mentioned, we do the renew cancel for all the broadcast networks, and we are one of the few sites, one of two, I think, that does cable renew and cancel index streaming services, and so that's unique to the site. We have lots of really well-written articles, that take an in-depth look on TV over the years, and later in the year we're going to be starting releasing our own shows on the site. You can readable shows that we'll be posting on the site. So there's some things we do.
Absolutely, and that's the TVRatingsGuide.com. Also, you catch them on social media at TV Ratings Guide on Facebook, of course. That I know so well, and try to share a lot of stories for you guys out there. But also on Twitter, and anything else I need to know about, Jess, as far as where you guys are at? Twitter, of course.
We also have a Facebook page.
Sweet. Yeah, absolutely. Mentioned Indeed, got a lot of great stories as well coming from there. Now, Jess, that leads me into what's going on with the TV ratings as a whole, because we were talking about earlier in our previous conversation. I was talking about a lot of the great shows that are as far as being available up front and whatnot. But now we're talking about the cancellations and renewals that are out there. So what are the shows that you're looking as far as that are on the fence that are still somewhat in limbo as far as whether or not they're going to be renewed or canceled?
Elementary, for sure.
I knew you were going to say that one.
Well, it has a big syndication deal with WGN, and we don't know whether it's going to be renewed with the syndication deal intact, because I heard it makes
quite a bit.
million.
Yeah. Once the show reaches so many episodes, was the magic ticket 80 or 100?
For CBS, it's 100, but for other channels, it's 88 episodes. On the CW, it's 70 to 80.
Okay.
For low-rated shows.
Okay, but yeah, once you get that deal, like you said, WGN has really done well with the elementary reruns and whatnot. But and obviously CBS owns that show, and as one of my favorite shows on the network, I would like to keep it, but I understand it's stuck in like the worst time slot imaginable on broadcast television, which is Sundays at 10:30 for an hour show. That really just seems kind of absurd that they did that if you didn't want to keep them on the air. But then again, like I said, they own the show. It has syndication for there, but also a lot of broadcast networks as far as local stations all around the country. I'm sure they started syndicating that out, so it is generating quite a bit of income there. And we don't know how the numbers as far as that's concerned with CBS All Access, or do you get those numbers for CBS All Access as of yet?
No, we do not get the numbers for CBS All Access, but
wouldn't that be great? Because I'm interested to know myself, because especially with all the shows upcoming that they're doing and whatnot. So, Jonathan, what are some of the other shows that you're looking forward to? Elementary, I'm pretty sure that I think it's going to be it's going to be killed off. I'm hoping it's not, because I love that show entirely. But what are your thoughts as far as some shows that are really on the fence between that renewal and cancellation window right there?
I think one of the big ones is another CBS show, Two Broke Girls. That's really on the fence. I think that's probably on the fence the most with Elementary. I think on Netflix this season.
Now, why was Two Broke Girls royally on the fence? They've never been able to produce numbers like they have in the past. Was it because they don't have as strong of a lead-in, and it's more dependent on reliant on the show itself? Or what are some of the factors with Two Broke Girls being in such peril?
Well, it's rating better than almost all of CBS's other comedies. Like in the Monday night lineup, it's the second highest rated comedy and everything. But CBS doesn't own it, so they don't make money off of it. And it's at the end of its sixth season, so contracts are up, and it just might not be worth it for them. And they already have a lot of comedies renewed for next season. And so yeah, that's really the reasons it's not. It's aired like a few different time slots this season, so it's kind of just shuffled around a lot.
Okay, well, fair enough. And then, but they're also in syndication as well, as far as their shows. But obviously, if CBS is not garnering an income from it, then I can understand why that they would want to pull the trigger on that real quickly. Jess, what are some of the other shows maybe on the NBC, ABC, Fox, CW that you're looking at as far as walking that tightrope in where you're not 100% sure either way? Because if everybody out there, if you want to take a look at their index, and they've got a great index on where your favorite shows are at as far as whether they're going to be renewed or canceled at the tvratingsguide.com. But what are some of the other shows that you're looking at that may be teetering on that very, very dangerous tightrope?
Well, we have the originals and iZombie, and iZombie's in its third season, but their seasons are really short, and the originals will have 79 episodes at the end of the season. And typically on the CW, in recent history, you see shows getting canceled after 70 to 80 episodes after 4 seasons, but obviously the 100 must have taken away that rule because it's really short. So now the 2 shows that I feel like I'm not 100% sure that they're getting renewed or canceled is those 2 shows.
Fair enough, indeed. Jonathan, there are shows that have been canceled that I know raised an eye from everybody as far as, being very surprised at that the shows actually axed as far as given the axe, so to speak. So what shows surprised you already that were given the axe that you thought may actually have some more life in them?
Well, this season I wouldn't really say that there were really any yet because nothing has been like canceled yet, except for obvious shows, like Emerald City, and CBS has pulled a few shows, and that wasn't really anything surprising. But I do think there were a few surprising shows last year at the ABC with Castle, Nashville. Those were surprising, but I think we'll be getting some prizes this week. So.
Okay. Were you surprised at Bones being finally put to bed? Because that was always on the fence as far as its long-term health.
I mean, I wasn't really that surprised because, the ratings had been dwindling for a while, and it was kind of like it was just, on the cutting board, and you knew it would be ending soon, and it got to have a final farewell season, so it wasn't that surprising.
Okay, fair enough indeed. And Jess, I want to talk about some of the shows that you're surprised they got a renewal for next year. What are some of the shows that you're surprised that got a renewal for next year on any one of the networks that are out there that really stick out to you?
I think the ones that have stuck out to me are on CBS, and Code Black has apparently got renewed despite getting low ratings, and on ABC, The Catch, because of the Shonda connection.
Okay, those definitely, the Code Black especially was something I thought was going to die a horrible death, but obviously it got renewed. So that is definitely surprising indeed, because when you look at it as a whole, CBS picked up a ton of shows, more so than I thought would be, and then they left us some off the plate. Elementary, like I said, I'm not surprised either which way, despite my love for it. Jonathan, what about the actual Criminal Minds deal and Criminal Minds Beyond Borders? Can you clarify what the status of both is right now?
Well, Criminal Minds got renewed a few weeks back, so that one's safe. It's doing pretty well, but it's a spin-off series. It had a mediocrely rated first season, but it did enough to get renewed, and then it premiered this season, and it's just the ratings really just haven't been there, and it's not looking like it'll be able to come back based on the ratings. It's been fractional for most of its run this season.
No. Okay, that's what I wanted a clarification on, because out there at first, CBS took a whole group of shows and renewed them all at one time, and Criminal Minds and Criminal Minds Beyond Borders were not among that list. So you're saying Criminal Minds, the show, actually did get picked up for next season. Is that correct?
Yes, it did.
Okay.
It was after the mass renewal, but it did.
Yeah, because I remember that. I remember the big group that got at one time that they did a press release on. I just didn't know for sure if that was actually going to be actually hanging on. So Beyond Borders is beyond that borderline, and now it's going the way of the dodo, I guess, and as far as that's concerned. So that being said, Jess, I was talking earlier with Jonathan about shows this summer coming out that you're really looking forward to. So what are the shows coming out this I know we mentioned maybe one or two, but what are some of the shows that you're looking forward to coming up in these summer months, making a big imprint with audiences?
I did mention Unreal, and I think I was also watching Mary Kills People, but I kind of dropped that. But at the end of the thing, I was looking at more of the unscripted area on cable, though. You got Wow and Out coming out for a 9th season, and sometime in June, and then you have other shows coming out, like Good Behavior. That premiere date is to be announced.
But that's still. I was worried about the ratings on that one. I thought the ratings were not going to be able to merit another season, but they still seem to have some faith with that series, along with obviously what you were talking about earlier, Jonathan, and then the shows that they're going to be adding on to it. What are some of Jonathan? What are some of the FX shows that you see basically getting some more notoriety now at this point in time? Because Fargo just came out. I know that as far as pretty solid critical reception. I don't know how it's doing rating wise. Can you inform us exactly how that one's doing?
Fargo, it's on the channel. It has American Horror Story and the new hit Legion. Those are, did really well, so they're way above its league. But as of the first few numbers for the season, it's doing decent. I mean, it still has a good chance of getting renewed for another season.
Okay, fair enough indeed. And then I will actually just maybe sound this off. Maybe as far as from this concern, Jess, what are your thoughts as far as going forward? I know fall is it's still not that far away, but what are some of the shows that you're looking forward to right now that have already been announced as far as upcoming, possibly Inhumans on ABC, or what else are you looking forward to?
The second season of Riverdale, to be for sure, and I'm still binge watching its first season. So, and I'm also looking forward to some new CW shows coming out, but we don't know what shows are going to be picked up the series, whether it's Black Lightning or Dynasty or whatnot.
And the AMC, as far as, because I was talking with Jonathan earlier about the future of The Walking Dead, because even though it's the highest rated show on cable, there's some obviously having some issues in regards to declining ratings and whatnot. But what are some of the shows that you think on AMC that are going to go long term? Because Into the Badlands just got picked up for another season. What are some of the things that you're hearing about The Sun, Better Call Saul, and some of the other programs on AMC?
I've not heard much about AMC, to be honest, but I was thinking that Into the Badlands may go on for a few more seasons, but I also still think that The Walking Dead still has a little bit of juice in it despite declining ratings. Its ratings are still good enough to get renewed.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it's still the leading show on all networks as far as is concerned. As far as they're still achieving the highest ratings overall from point A to point Z. But I noticed there's still a sharp decline indeed. So maybe in the future might be something to look at. I know, Jonathan. I know when it comes to The Walking Dead, and people are so high on The Walking Dead, Into the Walking Dead, as far as it's concerned, Fear the Walking Dead is still a show that has never quite measured up to the initial success and prolonged success of its Big Brother series. So what are your thoughts going into Fear the Walking Dead as it opens up for another season? Do you think it's actually going to be able to survive?
Well, as you mentioned, it's never been as high as what rated as its parent series, but it's still done pretty decently. Like, I believe last season it had gotten ratings, in the low ones, which is still better than, a lot of shows airing on broadcast network. So if it can, stay around that or even hover around 0.7, high fractionals, it still is a really good shot because those are still good ratings for cable.
Definitely. As far as the cost ratio, I know if it does go below 1, I think that might be a little bit of concern, because the fact this show does cost quite a bit because of its different locations and whatnot, especially when they go and they branch off between the main characters. One's going here and there, whatnot. I know it can be quite pricey, but because they have a budget similar to what The Walking Dead does, but doesn't really have the same numbers indeed. I'm actually going to go and close off I'm going to go on close off the last part of the conversation here with one question I want to ask both of you, and that's basically, Jess, I'll start off with you. What do you see as far as maybe the show that people need to really get into that they can binge watch over the summer that maybe was missed by audiences initially during the fall or maybe spring campaign? What's the one show you need them to binge watch during this summer season, because shows are not going to be as plentiful out there, and people will have a chance to catch up?
Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, the critical darling.
Okay, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend indeed. Thank goodness I don't have any out there, but that's definitely a nice thing to as far as it's concerned. We're going to have to go ahead and binge watch on that. For which network is that, correct? If
That's
you
the
can,
CW.
of course, because I know you're such a big CW fan out there. That's what I was telling Jonathan. I was like, I know she likes the CW. I know she likes the CW. So, and I know we were talking about iZombie not being maybe able to be long term, but I know the CW actually has a lot of great shows indeed that people should keep an eye on. But definitely looking for Crazy Ex-Girlfriend to binge on indeed. Jonathan, if there was one show you had to tell people you've got to target and you've got to binge watch so that you can get prepped for the season upcoming, what show would that be?
Definitely Good Behavior on TNT. You know, it didn't rate that well for its first season. It was lucky to get renewed for a second. That was just a really good show, and people need to binge it, in my opinion.
Definitely, indeed. That actually, seen a couple episodes. I actually kind of liked it, but I saw the ratings on it getting 0.3s, 0.2s, and 0.3s, if I remember correctly.
It was mainly 0.2s. I think it premiered to 0.3, and then I don't think it went back up of that.
Exactly, and I know there were other shows like The Good Ship, The Last Ship, and also as well The Librarians, which were garnering higher numbers, slightly higher numbers indeed, that were retained. So Good Behavior getting retained was a kind of a surprise, but definitely, like I said, it's definitely a show that people need to binge on and catch up on, because it's definitely worth watching and need. So one last time, where can people go to find all the great stuff that's going out there? Because I'll tell you what, 1 million plus views on your site, and congratulations to both of you and everyone out there that works on the TVRatingsGuides.com, because it's just a great honor indeed to go over that plateau. But tell us exactly what have you guys got working on? What do you guys do as far as you guys do so many reviews and whatnot? But what does the TVRatingsGuide.com mean to everybody out there as far as a place to go on the internet? Jonathan, I'll start with you.
You know, I think it's just like a really different rating site. Like, you know, there's a whole bunch of rating sites, but, you know, they really just stick to, you know, ratings and an occasional new cancel and different article. But, you know, we do the ratings, and we do so much more than that. Reviews, really great articles, and I think we're just a really great site with lots of different features.
Definitely indeed. And Jess, when it comes to the TVRatingsGuide.com, why do people need to check out your site?
Okay.
And,
Well, I'll be right. Yeah.
Jess, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Jess, one last thing. Why does the TVRatingsGuide.com, I mean, actually, what do people need to know about the TVRatingsGuide.com, the TVRatingsGuide.com, the TVRatingsGuide.com? What do people need to know about it? Why is it a must visit site for everything TV ratings?
We have off topics.
Okay, and that what does that entail? I mean, I know what it is, because I said I share often as far as concerned, but what does that entail as far as, you know, why should people go and check out all the reviews, all the off topics? What does that entail when you're talking about off topics in those articles?
Well, off topic is a place where we talk about TV related stuff that's not related to ratings, and sometimes films and whatnot. Sometimes we have film reviews that are very in-depth. We do have a guest blogger that comes up, Virtual Scroll, I meant. And He occasionally gives movie reviews.
Okay, and what else about the TVRatingsGuide.com makes it a must can't miss site for everybody out there on the internet?
Well, let's see. Let me try to think. Okay. Besides the off topic, we do have a renew cancel site. I do the CW renew cancel watch, and as right now the originals and iZombie are down to the wire, and it's really hard, I'm guessing.
Indeed. They do have your renew cancel index, something that people need to keep a focus on constantly because the ratings are always in flux as far as TV ratings are concerned. And there's no better way to cover it than checking out the TVRatingsGuide.com website. That's TVRatingsGuide.com. Or also check out their amazing Facebook and Twitter pages at TVRatingsGuide.com. We here at Pop Culture Cosmos try to share, some of the stories that are going down from their awesome site and their awesome writing, and we just truly appreciate them. Anytime they want to stop by on the show, it's just truly amazing that they take the time indeed to share that wealth of knowledge that they have in regards to everything going on within the TV spectrum. Jonathan, Jess, it's been a great pleasure having you on both our Monday and Friday shows. I appreciate you checking in with both those shows. It's really just a pleasure as always. And before the fall season hits, you guys are going to come back on, right?
I mean, I definitely think that's the plan. I mean, I think we even discussed doing another one pretty soon. So
sweet, because I'll definitely have a list of what about this show? What about this show? What about this show? You probably going to get tired of me, probably saying so much. But I'm looking forward to the Inhumans already coming to ABC. But that's just the Marvel buff in me. But Jess and also Jonathan, thank you so much for being part of the Pop Culture Cosmos.
Thank you. I apologize for the technical difficulties with cutting in and then coming back and whatnot.
No worries indeed. We're just glad to have you aboard and checking out everything on the Pop Culture Cosmos show on our Monday show and also the PCC Multiverse on our Friday show as well.